Again, well, come back to our channel. Have you ever done something totally ordinary and noticed her eyes lighting up or caught a smile you weren't expecting? Maybe she leaned in just a little closer, as if you'd suddenly become the most interesting person in the room. Here's the thing, what you thought was just your everyday behavior might actually flip a switch in her mind without you even realizing it. Sometimes it's the smallest, most unintentional things you do that leave the biggest impression. A simple glance, a casual comment, or even the way you carry yourself can spark attraction in ways you'd never imagine. And the wild part, you aren't even trying, you're just being you. And yet she's hooked, intrigued, drawn to you in a way that feels almost magnetic today. We're breaking it all down. We're talking about 6 accidental moves that drive women absolutely wild. These aren't some overly complicated strategies, and they're definitely not on purpose, but they work because they feel real authentic, and completely you stick around, because by the end of this, you'll see yourself in a whole new light. And so will she trust me? You don't want to miss this. Let's get started. 1, commanding body language. All right, let's talk about something most men don't even think twice about, but women notice instantly your body language. Yep, before you've even said a single word, she's already caught on to exactly how you feel about yourself. Is it confidence, relaxation, uncertainty? She can feel it all and trust me. It sends her a direct message picture. This a guy walks into a room. Stands tall, his shoulders naturally relaxed, chest slightly open. He isn't slouching, fidgeting, or shrinking into himself. He's just there, owning his space without trying too hard. That's magnetic. It screams, I know who I am and I'm comfortable with it. Women pick up on that like radar because it radiates strength. And leadership now compare that to a guy who walks in, slouched over, shifting his weight nervously, maybe playing with his phone. One of them commands attention and the other just fades into the background. Another subtle but oh-ho sexy move, the relaxed lean. You know, when a guy casually leans against a wall or bar looking like he has all the time in the world, that effortless, I'm good, wherever I am, energy is seriously attractive. It says this guy isn't desperate for attention or approval, he's just comfortable, and that draws her in. And then there's how you move. Slow, intentional movements are like a silent flirtation, a man who doesn't rush, who walks like he owns every step. That's the kind of guy who gets noticed on the flip side. If you're pacing, looking frantic, or fidgeting, it's a major turnoff. Women love a man who seems in control, not just of his environment, but of himself. The secret, it's not about puffing out your chest or putting on a show. It's about subtle signals that say, I'm strong, I'm relaxed, and I know exactly who I am. When your body language speaks confidence without any effort, she'll notice, even if you didn't mean to make an impression to casual touch. That feels natural. All right, gentlemen, listen up. Because this one is a game-changer touch. Not the obvious kind, but those subtle, fleeting touches you probably don't even think twice about. They're like sparks, tiny ignition points that light up her attention without setting off any alarms. And when done right, trust me, she'll remember it. Here's how it works. Imagine this scenario, you're walking into a room with her, and as you guide her in, your hand lightly brushes the small of her back. You don't linger, you don't make it a big deal, but that one little touch, it sends a message. Or how about when you're laughing together and you gently touch her arm for just a second, like it's the most natural thing in the world? That's the kind of touch that leaves her wondering, was that intentional, or am I just imagining things now? Here's the trick for this to work. It has to feel effortless. If you hesitate or overthink, it'll feel awkward. And no one wants that. But if it's casual and smooth, like it's simply part of the way you interact with the world, it makes you stand out. Why? Because confidence is contagious. You being comfortable makes her feel comfortable. and comfort is the breeding ground for attraction. Most guys either avoid touch altogether or go way overboard, which shuts things down fast. But if you master the art of relaxed, confident touch, it's a whole different story. It tells her on a subconscious level that you're grounded, assured, and sure of yourself. Without being pushy, she won't just see it. She'll feel it. And here's the kicker: once a woman associates you with that kind of energy, the kind that feels easy, safe, and just a little electric, she'll find reasons to be close to you. Suddenly, you're not chasing her. She's choosing to lean in all because you knew how to communicate interest without saying a single word. 3 unintended displays of status and leadership. Here's a little secret. Women won't usually tell you they're not just looking at how you look or what you say. No, they're paying attention to the energy you bring, and one of the most attractive types of energy leadership. And no, I'm not talking about the loud, attention-seeking kind. I mean the quiet, natural confidence that makes people want to follow your lead without you even realizing it. Picture this: you're out with a group and decisions need to be made. Where are we heading next? Most guys will awkwardly look around, hoping someone else will take charge. But then there's the guy who steps up, smiles and says, "Let's check out this spot. I think you'll love it." No hesitation, no need for anyone's approval. That's real leadership. And women notice it's the little things that make the biggest impact. Like the guy who confidently orders at a restaurant without hemming and hawing over the menu, or the man who casually asks his friends for input, but ultimately makes the call himself. It's not about arrogance, it's about certainty, and certainty is sexy. Now, don't think you need to be rich, flashy, or drop names to appear like a leader. True status isn't about what you wear or what you drive. It's about how you carry yourself. Do you walk into a room like you belong there, like you have nothing to prove that energy is magnetic? It shows you're comfortable with who you are. And that kind of confidence is like a beacon for her attention. Here's the bottom line. Women are drawn to men who show through their actions that they know how to handle life. It's not about trying too hard. It's about being grounded when you embody that natural air of leadership without pushing it. You're not just noticed, you're unforgettable for the confident voice and tonality. All right, this one's a secret weapon. Most men don't realize they're carrying your voice. Yes, the way you speak says more than the actual words coming out of your mouth. A deep, relaxed tone that feels steady, calm, and unhurried. Oh, that sets the stage for a level of confidence women can feel without you even trying. Why does it work? Because your voice isn't just sounds. It's energy. Speak too fast, stumble over your words, or have your tone crack under pressure, and she'll read it as uncertainty. But take your time. Speak deliberately with just the right pauses. Like, you're completely sure of what you're saying, even if you're just talking about where to get coffee. That slow, poised rhythm tells her you're not in a rush to impress. And it's a confidence boost. She'll notice. And don't even get me started on the art of play teasing. Imagine casually smirking as you say something like, "Oh, really? You think you're quicker than me?" That's adorable. It's not what you say, but how you say it. That slightly mischievous tone adds a layer of intrigue that keeps things fun and flirty without going overboard. Now, there's also the secret weapon of lowering your voice picture. This, you lean in slightly closer, slow down your speech, and drop your tone. Just a notch. Instantly, things feel a little more intimate, a little more personal, like the moment belongs to just the two of you. And here's the kicker. Not only does it draw her in, but it also makes you come across as calm and collected. The best part, it's not about faking anything. The key is being completely at ease when your voice carries that quiet confidence. You don't need to say much. She'll tune into the energy behind your words, and that alone can leave her hooked, without you even realizing you've done anything at all. 5. The power of intense eye contact. Now, if there's one thing men underestimate, it's the sheer power of eye contact. A single gaze can say everything you need without speaking a word. But here's the kicker. Not just any kind of eye contact will work. It's all about how you hold it. A man who locks eyes with her for just a moment longer than expected, that's the guy who leaves an impression. She won't forget. Think about it. If you're constantly looking away, fidgeting, or nervously avoiding her gaze, she'll feel it. Uncertainty, unease, a lack of confidence. And that's what she'll pick up on. But what happens when a man holds her stare effortlessly, with just a hint of a smirk? Ooh, that's magnetic. It's not desperate, it's deliberate. A subtle, quiet, I see you and I'm not afraid to show it kind of energy. Then there's the beauty of the look away and return. Imagine this. You capture her eyes, hold the moment, look away smoothly, and then glance back. That second look, it feels intentional, like you couldn't help but notice her again and trust me. Women, pick up on that. It's like saying, yes, you caught my attention, but I'm not quite ready to make it obvious, that balance of interest and mystery, immediate intrigue. The trick isn't about staring her down, just plain awkward instead. Hold just enough eye contact to make her feel noticed, but leave a little space for tension to build. It's that unspoken connection, that silent dialogue through your gaze, that creates the pull. She'll start to wonder what you're thinking, and suddenly the chemistry shifts when you know how to use your eyes, not too much, not too little, but just right. You create this irresistible moment that draws her in, because a man who can communicate confidence and intention through his gaze alone, that's a man she won't forget anytime soon. 6. The unintentional challenge. Factor, here's the deal with attraction. Sometimes it's not what a man does, but what he doesn't do, that drives a woman wild, and one of the most captivating moves being just a little harder to pin down. Not in a fake playing games kind of way, but by genuinely living your life on your own terms. Most guys, when they meet a woman, they lean in too hard, they try to prove themselves, offer constant attention, and in doing so, make it too easy. The dynamic shifts and she feels like she's already won. But the man who's interested, but not bending over backward to prove it, that's the man who keeps her intrigued. It's not arrogance, it's subtle confidence. Imagine this scenario. A woman texts you, and instead of replying immediately, you take a little time because, well, you're busy, or when you're chatting, you give her enough attention to keep things fun, but never so much that it feels like she's the center of your universe. That bit of unpredictability, that's the sweet spot. It creates a sense of mystery, where she starts wondering about you, thinking, wait, is he really interested? Or do I need to work a little harder here and don't get it twisted? This isn't about ignoring her or playing hard to get, that's cheesy and forced. It's about genuinely being a man who has his own life, his own plans, and isn't dropping everything the moment she enters the picture. Ironically, that's exactly what makes you more interesting. Women naturally want what feels just. Out of reach, and the men who create that effect aren't even trying to. They are living authentically with their own priorities, goals, and pace, and that's magnetic. Because when a man is hard to figure out, not in a frustrating way, but he's got his own thing going away, she can't help but want to get closer. And once she does, every little glimpse into your world feels like a win. Final thoughts. The beauty of these 6 accidental flirting moves lies in their authenticity. They aren't about using cheesy pickup lines or pretending to be someone you're not. Instead, they reflect confidence, presence, and subtle charisma qualities that naturally draw people in, whether it's the way you speak, the playful way you tease, or the power behind intentional eye contact. Each move creates an organic connection that feels effortless by understanding the art of balance, showing interest without overdoing it, being intriguing without being distant. You unlock the kind of magnetism that leaves a lasting impression at the core of it all. Remember this: when you're comfortable in your own skin and genuinely living your life, attraction happens naturally. There's no need to fake it, because the most captivating thing you can be is yourself.